Doing our lesson of Pro Teaches Noob Tab. Returning is Raymond.
Hola.
And we're continuing up with our talks on Majestic. But before we continue on, and you can tell I'm at my parents' house, I have the dogs here again. Violet and Ruby here won't just leave me alone. She wants attention if I'm talking to someone else. But anyway, we're going over the original Mr.Majestic ongoing before we pick up where we left off. So this is the series that really got Ed McGuinness's foot in the door. This and Deadpool, but especially this. As said in the intro for the trade that I have, Joe Casey stated how Ed McGuinness always wanted to do larger-than-life comics. This was the first one he did.
Okay.
So, yeah, we open up. You won't find the story in the books. As we find out, this big alien is attacking Majestic, but he soon realizes it's Probe, a probe that scanned and sent the entire thing about the solar system. And he soon realizes that basically this thing wants to, in a couple of decades, Earth's time, this giant, and its master is going to come and destroy the universe. I mean, the galaxy, not the universe, the solar system.
Okay.
Now, this is where we're introduced to a young cyborg boy named Desmond. And how was Vietnam? Squared up that mess yet? Peace with honor and all that. I never made it to Vietnam. That data will explain why. Some of it may be a little difficult to comprehend. Yeah, right. Don't forget who you're talking to, big guy. I'm Groovy. Is this for real? Desmond, the Tinkertoy genius, one-of-a-kind orphan of microsurgery and insolence. The boy is the quantum mechanical bubble, in the quantum mechanical bubble. I'm afraid so. The probe relayed its findings before I could disable it. Orbital paths, chemical composition, planetary densities, and spectral images, basically mapping this solar system in every way imaginable. A picture worth 1,000 words. But why? Alien invasion, maybe? Not exactly. Something much bigger, I fear. As they bring forth all these different scientists, one of which is a pregnant woman. That comes up later on. That's why I'm bringing that up.
Okay.
Like, unbelievable. This data purports to catalog secrets of our solar system that we might never know. Very true. And if our readings are correct, and they are, this event is most likely to occur within this century. It's almost too much to absorb. You're asking us to rethink everything we know about the nature of the cosmos. Can't you just, fly into space and punch it or something? I would if I could. First of all, we can't be sure what it is. Second, I suspect this threat is much more susceptible and substantial than anything I could punch out. That's why you're all here, the most free-thinking physicists and cosmologists on Earth. Most of you are shunned by your peers, but we're willing to help you and help. We need your expertise. We must work together. And basically, what is their plan? They plan on changing everything in the solar system, to change how it looks, everything. Now, see, eventually this is where the woman comes with her baby. Like, look who's visiting. Hey, great. Little life form in the room. It's all there to be a reminder of what what they're fighting for. And we see then him use the Kherubim Forge, built over the span of decades to provide himself with otherworldly arsenal. He eventually creates these gauntlets that allow him to push in this case, push the moon out of its orbit. And how did they extract that? Nixon's resignation. Yeah, it turns out Nixon resigning was done as a distraction.
Wow.
Yep. And then eventually he went to change some of the compositions of Mercury. They used the 1976 bicentennial celebration to distract things. Or he used his, now, Desmond's also getting older because he can still age. We see Majestic uses heat vision to change Jupiter, which explains why it lost the red spot for a while.
Oh, that's interesting.
But he also finds out he's been so focused on everything that the world's been moving without him. He's been putting all of his time and effort. This is why he doesn't change the world throughout history. He eventually flies over and he again changes. He keeps on changing everything about it. But eventually he soon decides he needs to go into the sun soon. They put up all these other projectors to make people think, what they want them to see out in the sky. Now, there would be some people who claim, oh, there's something not right. They would eventually be labeled as crackpots. Until eventually he goes into a chamber to transform himself into Diamond so he can fly into the center of the sun and actually make us a binary star system.
Huh.
And during that time at the center, his mind opened up because he doesn't know for certain if this is going to work. Eventually, he's waiting there until it shows up. It scans everything and finds all the data doesn't make sense. It doesn't work. So it leaves. And even he and Majestic realizes there's no way he could have stopped it on his own. Now he has to put it all back to normal.
Jesus. Yeah, it took him decades to do that. Now he's got to do it and reverse everything.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yep, we get a history about Mr. Majestic, about the universe, everything. Playfully putting in some educational stuff just to be funny, but what do you think about that first issue?
Interesting. It's kind of like a superhero version of Forrest Gump, where he's like affecting like history.
Well, just for that one issue.
It was pretty good. I liked it. It was fine.
Yep. Now we have this old man who is an older man he's basically been a researcher and has determined some real news that he doesn't like, and he takes his own life because of what he discovered. Suddenly then, throughout all the world, we have all different people in time coming in, Vikings showing up. So many things are going crazy. And we even have a person from the... Ruby, stop! Be good, girl. Hold on. Stay down now. And basically, again, they're looking throughout everything. We see Cuba, they almost had the missile crisis happen again. Uh-oh. The Black Plague has started up again. Liberace has come in for his concert. Crazy things like that, and they're trying to pinpoint what it is. Also, Nagasaki, one of the nukes almost got dropped. Basically, they would have dropped on Hiroshima or Nagasaki. Yeah, Hiroshima again. Uh-oh. That would have been bad.
Jeez.
We even have the Red Sea parting. I love this. Desmond, there is definitely a temporal anomaly occurring here, but I wasn't aware that the parting of the Red Seas was a historical fact. Wouldn't this qualify as mythology? Why? You want to get into a theological debate now? Keep your eyes on the prize, man. If no lives are endangered, then let it go. And then eventually they say how J. Edgar Hoover showed up, until they soon realized what it was. Through the scientist, he found out his own daughter was a conundrum. But he realized also the only way to do it was to take his daughter out of the equation, and he couldn't do it. I love this thing. What?
So what's going on now? His
this
daughter?
Young girl, the daughter of that scientist who blew his brains out.
Okay.
He couldn't bring himself. I love it. It all makes sense. Don't be scared, Kata. My name is Majestros. I'm not going to hurt you. Go away, bad man. Wait. It goes into a loop until, hey, heads up, big guy. What? He's got you in a localized temporal loop. They create what is known as a stasis generator. Uses it on the girl, and then he explains to her and gives her some comfort and tells her, remember, think back to the perfect day and hold on to that thought. Then, sure enough, everything's back to normal. They had to take the girl out. But then it's made very clear that that this was all and that this was had to be done, and her perfect day was a day where she spent with dad. Just time on their own, eating ice cream, all that stuff, and nothing to bother them. And she will relive that day forever and ever.
Was this that baby?
No. No relation to
No.
that other one. No,
Okay, so this is
there's no continuity with the other issues.
okay. So this is
There's
wait. So
another
what?
girl. There's another girl.
Okay, so why did this girl have these powers?
It just happens, as they point out. Sometimes you just have these weird flukes that come about. Also, you
Mm,
gotta remember this when that girl would have been an old woman by this point.
I wouldn't say
That baby,
old.
I mean.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say old. I would probably say like, you know, oh, she's
Well,
still
still
younger
though,
than. Yeah, she would be
older
younger
because she was
than.
born. She was born before the Watergate scandal.
Yeah, and yeah, okay.
Yeah. Next we have Majestic going on a date with I forget what that robot's name is. But yeah, I just love this. That's right. You better burp and run, you burping pigs. Burp it right in the ear. Get the burp out of here before I burp like a burping on a bad day. Grab my ass, will ya? You needle burp for burp's sake. I'm a burping nun. Yeah, apparently she goes when she takes part in a church.
Uh-huh. None, huh?
Lady Tron or something like that name. And she's waiting for her date with Majestic.
She's okay. This
And
was
basically, they've always had a bit of a, and she's always had a liking for him, and he's just being a good teammate. Hello, Maxine. Mage! There's my favorite uptight stone-faced Kherubim Warlord. Does this broken glass have anything to do with you? Kinda. And the young men on the sidewalk weeping for their mothers? Hey, what can I say? If you can't take the heat, stay out of my face. By the way, nice threads, Dawson. How else am I supposed to monitor global emergencies? Joey be Joey be asking you to the prom for sure. What's the headgear? That's how he's keeping an eye on everything. Mr. Life of the party. That's why I love you. Hey, check these out. See those two? I'm not going to say that word. Over there, part of the quote-unquote new Wildcats. Bunch of posers. We were the new Wildcats. Perhaps you should give them a chance before you judge them. Well, they're not even covert anymore. They're like an overt action team, which I figured would make some wild oats, right? You haven't changed a bit. Maxine, shall we find a table? Hey, cut it out. You're even creepier when you smile. He kind of is, isn't he?
it doesn't yeah, he's so out of character when he does it. He's forcing it.
But yeah, eventually they're gonna go to a movie, and eventually they see a a men with guns retrospective, majestic blood and bravado, and he doesn't want to go in there, but she's insisting. Again, he's just going along because he's being a friend, and she's reading more into this than he is. Oh geez, but yeah, they're banging on a machine. Chip abuser, how dare you smack around an innocent little machine like that? Yeah, she's one of those looks at all machines as if they're alive.
Okay.
So they're going in, yeah. Oh, and she has beer hidden in places. No, thank you. So anyway, but yeah, basically explaining everything. Oh, and because these guys are laughing in the movie, she points her gun at them, and they run off. Man, kiss the day, indeed. Watch this. It's about to get real. This is all a bit disconcerting. I mean, is that meant to be me? And why are they shooting all those watermelons? Don't take a title so literally. Now, shh, just watch. Booyah! Take that, you anti-Agrian scum burp. Sorry. Look at him. He's just like,
All right.
There's still a few left. I know what you're thinking. That is a mistake to be on public with me. No sweat. I get it all the time. I certainly wouldn't want to dampen your enthusiasm, Maxine, but no chance of it. So save the boring speech. Oh, I love this. Unpop kernel. Use it, heat vision. Eh? Poop. Just how anal are you? Again, you could definitely see why Abbott and Lanning would have redefined Majestic the way they did later, because you could definitely tell how out of touch Majestic is, isn't he?
He is, but I'm really liking this. What's her name again?
Ladytron.
Ladytron. Yeah, she's pretty cool.
She is. But yeah, eventually we have these mechs showing up. These are mech supremacists. It's Bob. Bob? Yeah, Bob. Brotherhood of Box, a radical offshoot of the Church of Gort. They've kind of got one of those fatwas things out on me, calling me an aberration because I'm still part human. In other words, they're pro machinery and only machinery. Of course, Majestic finally rips open his sweater to help out with everyone. They eventually fight them all off until they're holding a guy hostage. Oh dear. But once Ladytron is threatening the projector, they think, like, you wouldn't dare do it. Try me. And while we're throwing around hot-wired rhetoric, let me tell you something about a certain fleshy I know. One who saved this planet more times than I count. And you and your sanctimonious silicone butts wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for him. I owe him my life. When the chips are down, he's the one who cut me in two and threw my legs into space so I wouldn't blow up Manhattan. And brother, if that ain't love, I don't know what is. I'm talking about Mr. Majestic, baby. Now, I'm going to count to 3, then you're going to be seeing gear splattered over the walls. Okay? 1, 2, she's insane. What can we do? Well, they leave. And of course, she's later saying, I would never have done that to you. Oh, I love this. Are you all right, son? Whoa, intense. You sure you're over 17, son? Never mind. Of course, that was fun, huh? And drinks, movie, a little high caliber carnage. Best Saturday night I've had in a long time. Man, do you see the looks on those Bruce Chrome pusses? Hey, I was watching Chew, lady. You a hottie. Get your paws off me. Oh, come on. You know I can spit polish. Think I'm kidding? You want to mess with me, huh? What's the purpose wrong with you? I'm a frickin' nun. Admit it. You had a great time, didn't you? Yes. Let's never do it again. Now, this one is a tearjerker.
Tearjerker?
Yep. You see this young man just sleeping in bed, wakes up, washes his face, and soon finds a hole in his flesh, allowing him to see the stars. That ain't good. Meanwhile, we're seeing in some other side of space, Majestic is forming as known as star stuff, one of the most powerful energy sources there is. Pre-dimensional stardust. It's not easy to match matter of its stealth as it is determination. I would never want to awaken a sleeping star. They hate that. So he was gone for 11 weeks in there. Now, for someone as ancient as Majestic, of course, time like that means nothing to him.
Well, yeah, he still looks like he's fucking 35.
It turns out when he came to Earth, he brought his son with him. Unfortunately, his son had died in the crash. But his soul, the way they do it was, your body and soul are separated. So he makes a new body and he plans on powering up with the star stuff so his son could actually be alive again.
Okay.
Now, that guy we saw earlier, look at his face now.
So now he's a black hole?
He's slowly doing that. It's later made clear by taking the stardust, it created an imbalance.
So
and unfortunately, this guy is suffering it.
Okay, so basically trying to save his son is fucking up this guy.
Yes, and unfortunately it's going to F up everything. Yeah, here's him explaining the history about with his son. And they use the star stuff to power up the mech so it could be just as indestructible as he is. Meanwhile, the guy, look at him now, he's all wrapped up in bandages and he's left behind. But his son is named Magistrate. And yeah, he's so happy to see him. They're flying, or Junior Majestic, as they're also knowing him as. He's helping him kick butt. Photo op. Allow me to rotate slowly so you can capture my countenance from all angles. He's become very popular. Apparently, he's a teenager. But Desmond, of course, is feeling kept out now because he was pretty much the closest thing to being like a son to him.
Okay.
Now, don't worry, he doesn't do anything bad, but soon a black hole has appeared. That poor guy has become the black hole, and he's dead.
Wow.
They soon realize what they have to do, and for a moment, magistrates almost pulled in, and they realize what it is, what's causing it, and they're realizing that they have to they'd have to do a sacrifice. Of course, Majestic doesn't want to do anything, sacrifice his son, but his son is willing to do it. Magistrate, what do you think you're doing, son? The right thing. I know what's at stake here. Believe me, I do. But we're heroes, aren't we? No matter what the consequences, I'm going to do what needs to be done, and to aid this planet, just like my father would. Very well. Let's go. For humanity's heart. Godspeed, my. He slams in there, fixes it all, but now it's truly dead.
Oh, that sucks.
See what I mean about this being a tearjerker?
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
And look at him. It's such a bummer. Now this one kind of is a bit more lively. As they basically settle, they get word about some maximum security prison gets for some reason disengages and releases some of its strongest and most dangerous criminals out there. One of them, though, is named Decad, and basically his danger is not his power, but his manipulation of words.
He looks like a dwarf version of Desaad.
I think that's a bit of the joke. But we'll get to the punchline with him. He's basically now starting to transport to Earth and starts to study all of Earth's languages. Because basically he's been able to conquer other worlds, overthrow governments through his speeches, his words. Of course, Majestic goes and deals with the big power hitters, while Dickhead thinks and let them do it. I'm the biggest threat. So all this is just a big action fest. Again, like McGinnis wanted, larger than life superheroics. Yeah, he's starting to study all of Earth's languages, everything about their news, their history, everything he thinks he can use to save the day. Well, again, Majestic is fighting them all and eventually takes them all out. But then we get a message here. Greeting, and now my finest moment. I successfully infiltrated what Earthlings call a morning show. I have tapped into worldwide communications. I have their attention. They shall be seduced into submission by my irresistible charisma. Greetings, my homies of Earth. I come not to praise you, but to bury you. For too long, we have let the shadows of evil grow like a serpent in the garden. There are those who mock our way of living, who take no pride in the national pride, which makes us proud. The time of swiftness is coming fast. I will lead you into this dark age and into a new age out of this dark age and into a new age of light and beauty and reasonable prices. But wait, there's more. What about the children? Can't we please think about the children? We shall stand against these enemies and liberate you, not just from fear, but from fear itself. Too long have we toiled in the salt mines of the minefield. Too long endured the wings and sparrows of Horatio Fortune. I am your liberator. May I be of service? Together we can make the world a lot brighter. A few cents a day is all I ask. What the hell is this? What is that? A puppet? It's a new sitcom, maybe? They get worse every year. The fact is, you need me, and deep down you know it. You need someone to tell you the truth, to tell you that you are right and your neighbors are wrong, to tell you, to think so you won't have to. Tell you truth from lie, right from wrong, good from evil, and whose children should be eaten in case of famine. Let us rise up and tear down the stony walls that lift and separate us. Can we get an amen on that? What the heck is this? And Claptrap. What happened to Kate and Matt? I am your new Messiah. Bow now before the 100% all-natural country goodness of Decad. And He's funny, Daddy. Can I have one?
Oh,
Oh my God, he's directful. Did he say his name was Dickhead?
This is backfiring
Moment
spectacularly.
immediately that these are not the cheers of the gratefully converted. The speech was meant to be my moment of triumph, the spark of the new eternal flame of my glory. Unfortunately, something seems to have been lost in translation. Womp, womp, womp!
This is backfiring.
Badly! Now, and Majestic actually takes the old guns and uses them to lift up that ship. Because it's designed basically to do what Superman's bio aura can do and actually make everything even. So he can push in one spot but lift the whole thing.
Is that something Superman can do?
Superman can do that naturally. Post-crisis could anyway, because that was something Byrne established thanks to his bio electrical aura. Something that we all have. It's what keeps dust from sticking onto our bodies.
Oh, okay.
But Superman can actually expand that around items.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, so of course, Dickhead is then heading down there and planning to replan it out. You go, girl. Peace out. Next will be the last issue we'll go over of this, where it's issue 6 of there are 3 more issues, but those have a different art style and are way more complicated.
Okay.
But this one, this was around December. This was around 1999. So they're thinking, of course, about Y2K. So it's thinking about using Desmond to hold all of the world's information in case Y2K shuts everything down.
Oh, memories.
Yep. Also, he's of the belief, of course, about technically the millennium won't start until next year. He's one of those guys. Meanwhile, we're seeing that Majestic has been taken over by these space and these ultra vixens. And unfortunately, they have him under a mind control.
Not a bad mind control to be under, in my opinion.
Well, but he can't move, so he can't do anything to help Desmond out. And he's trying to get him all out, but of course, they're all like, woo, woo. They're seducing him. They're like sirens, of course. But of course, they're ready to argue with each other, which he realizes what he needs to do. Meanwhile, Desmond is being decides to head on out there to go to a New Year's Eve party. And unfortunately, though, he shouldn't be doing that because he has information in him. Meanwhile, what does Majestic do to get him? He's able to use his heat vision and zaps one of them in the butt. Hey, what's the big idea of zapping my caboose? You hitting, psycho slut. Nobody touched your can. Guess I'll kick it in, though.
Okay, that went from like 0 to 11 really quickly because they went from caboose to slut.
Yeah.
What the
hell? But yeah, then of course they start fighting it out, and he's able to get out of there. Then we're seeing stuff with Desmond. He's soon almost abducted. They fight, and of course this guy's being really protective. What's your damage? This is supposed to be a party. And, well, he was actually ready to... Now, actually, no, I take it back. This guy was ready to zap Desmond. Fortunately, Majestic saved him. Eventually, everything's put right back to normal because it turned out why did happen in this universe. And then it's all put back together. Well, you did just fine. And now the new millennium beckons. Oh, come on, next year. The new millennium doesn't start until 2020 and 2001. Ah!
I mean, he's not wrong, but still.
So what did you think about that?
That was a lot of fun. It really was.
Great. And what did you think about Desmond from what we saw of him?
Desmond, I'll be honest, he's kind of an afterthought to me.
Yeah, but you definitely see how important he is for Majestic, though, right?
I guess, but having come off the other story that you showed me, it's like he doesn't even really need Desmond because he's so fucking smart on his own.
True, but it's more like Desmond helps him out with the humans, the Earth side of things, and again, the computer side of things. And he's basically just the guy who takes care of home base while Majestic is flying around because Majestic can't fly back.
Yeah. He's the Alfred to his Batman. I get that bit.
Yep. And if it wasn't for him, he would have been stuck in that temporal loop.
Yeah.
But I really want to bring that up is because Desmond does have a part to play in when we come back and do the next part of the Majestic stuff.
Okay. Until then, I suppose.
Until then, we'll see you on the next one. But before we go, I gotta ask, what did you think about McGinnis's artwork here?
Oh, it was awesome. I liked it. I mean, it's a lot more blocky and not as edgy as some of the other stuff I've seen, but
Well, yeah, it's not as refined either as what he would do later on.
well, yeah, it's a lot more. I wouldn't say blocky, but more bulbous, I guess is a word. It's
well, later on, yeah, there's a reason why people sometimes say his stuff is very balloon bodish.
Yeah. It's. I mean, I can appreciate it. It looks nice. I mean, it's not like super edgy, out of proportion crap that what's his name does.
Liefeld.
Yeah, Liefeld.
But this was a good starting point. You could definitely see what I meant. More so here, what I said about the Reed Richards side of things, right?
Not yet. The Reed Richards was more Desmond in this case.
True. True, but that's because I skipped a lot of the dialogue.
Okay, well, that's...
Trust me, if I went with all the dialogue, it would have been very techno-babbly.
Okay, I'll take your word for it then.
All right, then. Well, we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.
Au revoir.